Welcome to the show, guys. Want to do a quick video here on first round deception. Now, I'm doing these mini videos here where I'm vlogging sometimes here on the podcast because I want to get quick bite-sized information to you guys as well. Other than the full long top 10 running back podcast and some of the other podcasts I'm doing, I want to be interactive with you guys more, do some more stuff on the fly, get you some more real concrete advice to help you guys make sure you get an advantage in your leagues. And not only that, most importantly, be aware of all the lies and deception that's going on with the Kinshipsis. So in this video, guys, really quickly, I'm going to be talking about first round deception because last year you were deceived. You were told that Cooper Kupp is a first overall pick amongst wide receivers and to draft him as soon as possible. And you were also told that Jonathan Taylor was the first overall pick. And I told you to be aware of that coming off pinnacle years and potential injuries and other things that happen after players come off pinnacle years. So this year, let's talk about the first round picks that you may be deceived into drafting, okay? Now, some people will say, well, this is just another Austin Ekeler bashing video. I mean, you can make that argument, but right now Austin Ekeler is sitting as the second overall pick in fantasy. Let's talk about some of the people coming off in the first round last year, okay? Real quick. Last year, everybody told you DeAndre Swift. I warned you about DeAndre Swift. I said DeAndre Swift, years to wow us, were not wowed. He's a top 8 pick amongst running backs, busted. Jonathan Taylor, like we said, busted. Dalvin Cook, busted. And on and on and on. I keep going here, right? Everybody told you to fade Saquon Barkley last year. He was a second round pick. Nobody told you about guys like Dameon Pierce. Nobody told you guys about guys like Tyler Algier last year, right? All they told you guys was literally draft these guys in the same order as he did last year. So I want to get you guys prepared to make sure you guys not only dominate the first round, but also every round. So again, if you haven't gotten the 16-round draft session, that's going to walk you through all the optimal players to draft in each round, omitting all the players that, should not be drafted. That's linked here below, or head on over to thefantasyfootballaccounts.com. Secure the solution, secure the championship. Video training, cheat sheet, everything you guys need to crush your leagues. But let's talk about the first round this year. I don't have it pulled up here, but I've been doing a lot of mock drafts. I've already, released the first version of 16 rounds. Some of the guys coming off of the first round include, but not limited to, you got CMC, you got Austin Ekeler, you got Jonathan Taylor, you got Derrick Henry, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Jamar Chase, you got Bijan Robinson, and so many more, right? So the big question is, who do you draft in the first round? That's not even the question. The question is, who am I being deceived in the first round that could potentially bust? So let's talk about it. I mean, the first two that jump out at me, just red flags everywhere, are Christian McCaffrey and Austin Ekeler. Now, I just did a video on this a couple of days ago. Go back and check that out. But again, I've talked about this, guys. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to keep hammering it in. Christian McCaffrey coming off a pinnacle year. He was an injury-prone guy. Finished, 10 games in seasons 2020 and 2021. He's not a guy that can get it done. I mean, he got it done last year, but I think that was his last hurrah, last hurrah. And the fact of the matter is he's got to do it again. Very unlikely with Elijah Mitchell coming back, who was sidelined, only played 5 games last year. I'm not sold on Christian McCaffrey, a guy getting it done based on ADP. He's going to fall below his ADP, and I'm just not sold on him being the guy so early. Another guy is Austin Ekeler. Again, first round pick. I'd be really cautious about him. Now, stick with me. This isn't just an Austin Ekeler CMC bash, podcast here. I'm gonna give you a couple other names here. But again, Ekeler, a lot of checkdowns. Joe Lombardi won't happen again. They drafted Quentin Johnson in the first round. Justin Herbert contract year. He's going to throw more. They didn't even believe in Ekeler enough to pay him a mega contract. Obviously, he's 28 years old. We see what's happening with older running backs. Look at Zeke Elliott. Decline happening over the years. So again, I'm just not sold on Austin Ekeler being such an early round pick. It just doesn't make any sense to me for a guy who was a backup to Melvin Gordon for years and not a true workhorse running back. So Austin Ekeler is out for me. Other guys in the first round, now you could go Jamar Chase. I think he's got the highest ceiling amongst wide receivers, but everyone's telling you Justin Jefferson, understandably so. But Jefferson, guys, is coming off a couple pinnacle years. They brought in Addison, who's going to get more volume. Now, listen, Jefferson, barring any type of injury, still a top guy, but I like the ceiling of Jamar Chase a little bit more. And if you go wide receiver, I'd probably go Jamar Chase. Again, Jamar Chase finished as a top 12 wide receiver in fantasy and only played 12 games. We got Burrow on a contract year, a ton of upside, okay? Other guys going in the first round, Taylor, I think he's going to do for a bounce back. I think he's safe. Bijan, I think, is safe. Drop a comment. Who am I missing here? Derrick Henry. Here's the thing with Derrick Henry and also Saquon Barkley, and we're talking about first round deception. I'd be careful, guys. And I'm going to talk about Pollard here as well, because he's coming off pretty early. And Davante Adams coming off pretty early, and Tyreek Hill. So, again, it's a lot of first-round deception because everything is copied and pasted from last year. Derrick Henry, listen, I liked him better last year. If I'm drafting, maybe I go Derrick Henry at the end of first round. It's a different offense. Will Levis is a new quarterback. He's struggling in camp. It's going to probably be Tannehill still. Their main wide receiver is Treylon Burks. Are we sold that Treylon Burks is the main guy? That's a big question mark. He is value. I like Treylon Burks, but is he going to be enough to distract the defenses from basically less stacked boxes against Derrick Henry? Now, again, Derrick Henry coming off that pinnacle year last year. Is he going to continue, or is this the final year for Derrick Henry? Are you paying a first-round pick for Derrick Henry, and this is the sunset year of Derrick Henry where he fades off and falls off and gets hurt or something like that? I liked him better last year in a bounce back. So this year, I like him. The volume is there. The talent is there. But is this his last year? Again, I'm just raising questions marks in your head so you guys are aware of whoever you draft in the first round. Tony Pollard, at the time of this recording, there is buzz that Dalvin Cook may end up in Dallas, but I think he ends up in Miami. Either way, wherever Dalvin Cook ends up, he's going to buzz kill wherever he ends up. I just don't believe Tony Pollard is going to be the workhorse. He is a top 8 running back right now. Again, copied and pasted from last year. He had 193 attempts, got injured. He had like a fibula injury. Again, he's apparently healthy, but he was really carried by Zeke Elliott, who carried most of the load with 200 attempts, and he's being drafted very high. Buyer beware, drafter beware. So, again, first round awareness here, guys, for you. We talked about Jefferson, 2 pinnacle years, possible decline, maybe injury, maybe Cinderella seasons. We talked about Ja'Marr Chase, possibly surpassing him. How about Davante Adams, guys? Davante Adams, we got to talk about him. He gets a significant decline at the quarterback position. And again, am I sold on Davante Adams? Coming off 2 pinnacle years, I'm fading him. I'm not going to pay his 3rd consecutive year in a row, Cinderella year, chance that he might decline, and he's got a significant decline at quarterback. So big question marks there. So we got question marks about Pollard not being a true workhorse running back. I like Deuce Vaughn later, by the way. Make sure you guys go with him. I got question marks about him. I got question marks about Davante Adams. I got question marks about CMC and Eckler, right? Henry, possible decline. And let's talk about Saquon Barkley here, okay? Very, very important if you're drafting Saquon. He has to solidify his contract. There's a possible holdout at the time of this recording. We're recording early June. Be careful as well with Saquon Barkley, because again, Saquon Barkley has to solidify his deal before you consider drafting him, okay? Again, did not get the mega contract. Franchise tag might not be good enough. He's turned down $13 million for a multi-year deal. He wants mega big bucks, understandably so, because if he doesn't get paid now, he's never getting paid that big deal, right? So what's Saquon going to do? I don't feel comfortable until he's kind of solidified in his position, paid and incentivized, okay? That's very important. I liked Saquon and Henry better last year because I was getting Henry on a bounce back year. I knew he was going to bounce back strong, and I was getting Saquon in round 2. 1-2, bam. Now, both these guys who are now in questionable situations, not so much Henry, but more Saquon, are both coming off in round 1. So be aware, guys. Now the Conchivas are on it, okay? When the Conchivas get on it, you're kind of too late to some degree. In most cases. Most cases, they might do well, but you got to be careful, okay? Other guys, Etienne, he's not really a first-round pick. Obviously, he's a little bit later, but he's going to be coming off early. Go Bigsby later. Avoid Etienne. And again, if you guys want to know who to draft in each round, linked it below, 16-round drafts. So you should head on over to thefantasyfootballcounts.com. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal plays. But I just wanted to do here a quick video talking about first-round awareness. Be aware, guys. Yes, Christian McCaffrey and Eckler could have great years, but they're being copied and pasted from last year directly. Pollard, never really a top 10 guy with Zeke there. Yes, he's in a position right now to really thrive, but will that position be solidified? Will they bring in a Dalvin Cook before the season starts? Will they bring in a Leonard Fournette? Will he still be there? Will Zeke come back? We don't know. Will Deuce Vaughn step up? Will Pollard's body hold up to have 250, 300 attempts? Again, he got hurt with 193 attempts with Zeke carrying the load last year. What's Pollard made of? We're going to find out. Again, the opportunity is there, but I have some question marks, okay? So you guys need to be aware of first round. Now, if you're in a 2-quarterback league, or a super flex, you're probably going quarterback round 1. If that's the case, I still solidify a running back. I like the value of like a Trevor Lawrence or a Herbert if you get those guys round 2. We know Allen, Hurts, Mahomes are all coming off round 1 in a 2-quarterback league. And probably, Lawrence and Herbert could probably come off round 1, but I highly doubt it. I still like to secure that running back in round one, okay? So, again, I want to do a quick video, round one overview. If I missed anybody, let me know. Again, I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor and Byjan as safe options round one. Henry could be safe as well. I like Jamar Chase if you're going wide receiver. Oh, and also, a lot of people go Travis Kelce round one. Very safe, very solid. But when is the year that Travis Kelce declines? Could it be this year? Very possible. I mean, what goes up must come down. He's been consistent as heck for years. You need to be aware of that as well. So, first round, awareness. Be cautious, be aware, and make sure you guys don't overpay for particular players. Even Tyreek Hill, a little overinflated, but he's an end of round one kind of guy. Again, secure running back round one. The guys I like are Byjan and Taylor, just based on the situation. Taylor's in a contract year. Byjan's young and hungry. Love the talent, love the opportunity. They're going to get the volume. And just, again, be careful, be aware. Round one, copy and paste BS, because it never works out the exact same way. We've seen it year over year over year. The guys that finish on top relatively don't finish on top again. Be aware of this when you're going in. Historically, it doesn't favor you to draft CMC and Eckler coming off pinnacle years. CMC's possible last hurrah, and Austin Eckler being a beneficiary of an injured wide receiver core with the Chargers and the checkdowns of Joe Lombardi. He's no longer there. That's new offensive coordinator. Herbert contract year, Quentin Johnson acquisition. So many changes you need to adapt to that, and I do that for all the rounds in the 16-round draft session. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up. We'll talk soon. Appreciate you guys. We're going hard for Fantasy Football 2023. I'm out.